Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles. Happy New Year everyone. I'm back after the well-deserved break after the end of the replay contest. And today we're going to kick off with a review of the Russian Tier 7 SU-122-44 tank destroyer. And there it is. Now, I can't remember how much this thing costs actually. Let's have a quick look on the research tree. But it wasn't that expensive. 6,750 gold. So that's not too bad. And you're looking at, well, it's about 3 months worth of premium account. That's how much it's going to set you back to buy one of these things, depending on how much gold is worth on your server, whether that's North America, EU, whatever. That's what you're looking at. It's a good little machine. It's based on the chassis of the T-44, hence the name, the SU-122-44, 122mm gun, based on the T-44 chassis. And what you get with the T-44 chassis is a very, very fast, very, very manoeuvrable tank destroyer with a 122mm gun. And I didn't, I looked at this thing and I thought, just from looking at the raw stats, that I wasn't going to like it at all. I thought, it's a Tier 7 tank destroyer with the same gun as the SU-100. Yeah, what's the plus side? I mean, it's got the same gun selection effectively as the SU-152. And I hated the SU-152. The ISU-152, fantastic, but the SU-152, the other Tier 7 Russian tank destroyer, was not a massive amount of fun. Not for me. But it's the speed, manoeuvrability, and the reload on this gun that really seal the deal on this thing. It's a lot like the Jagdtiger 88 at Tier 8 in that respect. The Jagdtiger 88 is basically a Jagdtiger with the long 88mm gun that you get on the Tiger at Tier 7. But it's not like any other long 88mm gun on any other German tank, because that thing has the rate of fire on the Jagdtiger 88. I'm pumping a shot out every 4.5 seconds. It is a monster rate of fire. This thing, it's the same. I managed to fire this thing once every 6 seconds. And don't forget, this is the gun that on the KV-1S takes 15 seconds to reload. And I'm firing this thing every 6 seconds. It is absolutely a phenomenal rate of fire. Stat-wise, 840 hit points, which is not bad. But you can and do get one-shotted by T-30s and ISU-152s. And Object 704s, and I'm speaking from experience here. It's very, very light. It can weigh up to a maximum of 35 tons. Mine with gun rammer, gun lane drive, and camo net fitted comes at 33.2 tons. But it has a 500 horsepower engine, so it's a very good power to weight ratio. And trust me, it shows, because this thing can shift. It can do nearly 50 kilometers per hour. 47.5 kilometers per hour maximum speed. It doesn't have any problem reaching that speed, and it turns phenomenally quickly. 42 degrees per second hull traverse. That is just ridiculously quick. It moves like a medium tank. But I mean, it's based on the chassis of a medium tank, so it shouldn't come as any surprise, but it really, really does move like a medium tank. Now, the armour, the armour's a bit of a mixed bag. It's not terrible. 90mm at the front, but look at the sloping. It's really, really good sloping. That's 45, 50 degree angle. Effectively, a lot better than 90. I couldn't tell you the exact figure. Possibly as much as 120mm effective thickness. Sides and rear, 75 and 45. Don't get shot at from the sides and rear in this thing. Although exposing about that much of your side armour is probably a guaranteed bounce. Before it even gets as far as worrying about the penetration, just that sort of angle, ping, it's just going to bounce right off. That sort of angle, you're starting to expose your tracks, and you're probably still going to get a bounce at the side. That sort of angle, penetration city, all over the place. Just don't do it. Lower glacis, very small target. And and very low to the ground as well, obviously. So if you're 50 metres or closer to this thing, do not shoot at the lower glacis. It's just going to bounce. The angle would just be too extreme. It's just going to bounce. Doesn't matter how thick it is. It's all about the angles. 50 metres or closer to this thing, well, you could try to overpower his armour at the front if you've got a gun with the penetration to do it. And most tier 8s and 9s probably will. But your best bet is to attempt, and I say attempt because this thing is so manoeuvrable, to get around him. Just close the distance. Do not let him pump shots from that gun into you at close range. He will fire faster than you will. And each one of his shots is doing around 400 damage. So you don't want to be sitting in front of this thing, if at all possible. Get around him or back off. Speaking of the gun, wow, look at this. Now it's basically your standard Russian tier 7-ish 122mm gun. They even haven't really changed the name that much. The D25S wedge breech. Well, I don't know what it means. It's some excuse for the colossal rate of fire this thing has. It's called a wedge breech gun. And look at the rate of fire, 7.5 rounds per minute. Now with a gun rammer, I'm firing a shot every 6 seconds. It is just phenomenal. Absolutely ridiculously fast rate of fire. And in all other respects, it's your standard Russian 122mm cannon. It's got 175mm of penetration. It's exactly what we expect to see. 390 average damage. Horrifically inaccurate. 0.4 watt is just bad. And 2.9 seconds aiming time. So it's slow aiming time. And that's why I've gone with the gun lane drive. Horribly inaccurate. And it's nothing that we're not used to with Russian 122mm guns in all respects other than the rate of fire. You have to let that thing aim before you pull the trigger or you will just miss. Simple as that. But you don't spend nearly as long sitting around waiting to fire. Every 6 seconds I can pump a shell out of this thing and it devastates whatever it's shooting at. Now that can work for you and it can work against you, because when you, for example on the SU-100, you pop out of cover and you line up to take your shot, you wait your 3 seconds to aim and then you pull the trigger and derp, and then you get the hell back. You get out of there because you've got 12, 13 seconds, whatever it is, depending on your crew skills, waiting to reload. With this thing, because you know you're going to be firing again in 6 or 7 seconds, it encourages you to stay in position, getting shot back at, and that's not a good idea in this thing. It is only based on the hull of a T-44. And artillery in particular just loves blowing these things up, and for some strange reason so do T-30s. I keep seem to get one-shotted by T-30s when I'm driving this thing for no apparent reason that I can think of. I don't know what it is about T-30s and SU-122-44s. It's like you're a T-30 gun magnet when I'm driving one of these things. You'll see what I mean. I have a replay especially illustrating this point. But so yeah, that really, really, really good rate of fire can work for you and against you in this thing. So it's just something you need to be aware of. It's even worse in the Jagdtiger. Well, it's not so bad in the Jagdtiger 88, for example, because the Jagdtiger 88 fires even faster. But it's armoured like the Bank of England, so you don't really care so much in the Jagdtiger 88 about return fire. You just wear them down with your colossal rate of fire, accuracy, decent penetration, decent damage. This thing is a different kettle of fish. You can't really afford to be getting shot back at. Your armour can save you, but you shouldn't be counting on it. And that really, really short rate of fire sometimes encourages you to stick around waiting to take the next shot in positions where you really, really shouldn't be sticking around, and that's killed me a few times. But I have enjoyed playing this thing. Definitely have enjoyed playing it. It's a great little machine. And not a bad moneymaker. And I know that's what a lot of people are interested in. Does it make as much money as the Tier 8 premiums? No. But it makes more money than the Tier 6 premiums. It's a sort of... And it's a lot cheaper than the Tier 8 premiums as well. If we go to the tech tree, let's see, how much does a Super Pershing cost? It's probably the next best example. There you go, Super Pershing. 7,200. Well, it's not that much cheaper than a Super Pershing. It's a lot cheaper than a T-34. T-34 is 12,000 gold. It's half the price of a T-34. It's about 1,000 gold cheaper-ish than a Super Pershing. I would probably, There you go, 6,750. In fact, it's not even 1,000. The earning potential, there you go, IS6, 11,800. The earning potential of one of these things is, I think, probably its only real weakness. If you're after a moneymaker, I think a Tier 8 premium is still your best bet, and the cheapest of the Tier 8 premiums is the Super Pershing. And the Super Pershing is great. Earns a pot full of cash. The Super Pershing. I mean, the other Tier 8 premiums are either tank destroyers or heavy tanks. So, and they all cost a fortune. In fact, how much does the Tiger 88 cost? I have one and I can't remember. There you go, 10,000 credits. It's way more. The Super Pershing is probably, if you're looking at a budget moneymaker, the Super Pershing is probably the best bet because it's 7,200 gold. It's only 450 more than the SU-122, and it has the Tier 8 money-making potential. Whereas this thing makes decent cash, but nowhere near, not quite as much as the Tier 8, and costs almost as much. So you're going to buy one of these things, you're going to buy it for the fun rather than for the money-making. Although the money-making is good. It's a nice little added bonus. But if you want a moneymaker, get a Tier 8 premium. If you want a cheap moneymaker, get the Super Pershing. Don't get the SU-122. Unless you just prefer driving tank destroyers, because it does make money, it just doesn't make as much as the Tier 8. Equipment, as I've said, I've already gone with gun lane drive because that 2.9 second aiming time hurts. Gun rammer because, hey, why not? Also, a point to note, and I don't know if this is just a bug, but that's a medium caliber tank gun rammer, and that's only 200,000 credits. Where is it? Gun rammer. There you go. Yeah, medium caliber tank gun rammer, rather than a large caliber tank gun rammer, which is kind of bizarre because that's definitely a large caliber tank gun. And a large caliber tank gun rammer sets you back 500,000 credits, but a medium caliber one only costs 200,000 credits. So I saved a lot of money putting that on that. And it's probably a bug, but hey, take advantage of it while it lasts. And also, it is a tank destroyer, so camo net. And that's basically what I've gone for. Crew skills, well, Sixth Sense is always good to have, but it's a perk. It's only good when it's at 100%, otherwise, prior to that, it just doesn't work. So I've just gone with camo, because not being seen is your best defense in a tank destroyer. Once they reach 100%, I would almost certainly go for Sixth Sense on the commander. On the gunner, let's have a look. Well, snapshot maybe. The gun traverse on this thing isn't bad, but I've seen vehicles with better gun traverse, so snapshot would help when you're traversing the gun. When you've moved the hull and then you have to move the gun again and to settle it down on the target, that would help. It's not a fantastically useful skill, however. And again, the rest are all perks, armourer, yeah. This thing doesn't really have the armour or the health to survive more than a couple of hits, so getting shot at and having your gun damaged, well, you've usually got bigger problems. I don't really think there are any decent gunner skills for this. Might maybe just go for repairs, in case you get tracked. Get your repairs back, your tracks back up. Driver, well, I don't think any of the driver skills are essential on this thing. Clutch braking would be nice, but you have fantastic traverse anyway. Off-road driving would be nice, but you have fantastic manoeuvrability anyway, and speed. Smooth ride, you never want to do anything that would encourage you firing this gun while you're moving. I would probably go for off-road driving, but, take your pick. None of them are really essential. And of course, for the loader, well, once that reaches 100%, I might just leave it at 100% camo, because camo is very, very good. And then start training safe stowage, because loader perks rather, are pretty crap. A safe stowage is the only useful one. I have been ammo racked a few times in this, but as I said, with regards to, it doesn't have a lot of health, because it's a tank destroyer, it doesn't have a lot of armour. And if you start taking hits and damaging this to the extent that your ammo rack's been penetrated, and you've got bigger problems than a damaged ammo rack. So that would be my recommendation. So anyway, enough talk. Let's see how this little thing plays. So this was the very first game I played in the SU-122-44. I'm platooned up with two of the guys from the clan. Hawk in his T-29. and Covey in his Tiger P. It's a Tier 8 game, which is kind of unusual, given that it's the first game I played in this thing. Generally speaking, the matchmaker goes very, very easy on you in your first 10 games. Actually, I've had kind of weird matchmaking in this. I mean, this is one of the few Tier 8 games I've had in this thing. Usually the games are either Tier 7 or Tier 9. Very rarely Tier 8. I don't think that's on purpose or anything. It's just the look of the draw, the way things have been. But it's been unusual. So, anyway, it is a Tier 8 encounter battle on Runeberg, which ain't bad at all. You should probably expect this sort of game to be the average game you get into. It just hasn't really been for me. You can see how quick this thing is. Look at how fast it turns. Now, a nice low-profile tank destroyer like this, where the gun isn't incredibly low down. These spots here on Runeberg allow you to cover, not from there. You have to kind of move around a little to find the right spot. There we go. And there isn't much that they can shoot back at. If you see, there you go. Pretty much all they can hit is gun mantle or sloped armour. And there are no real weak spots. Because this is based on the hull of a T-44, there are no hatches at the front that are weak spots that can be penetrated easily, unlike on the SU-100, for example. Now I know there's something on that corner, because I saw someone knocking over a lamppost. There you go, T-29. 386 damage. And he fires and he bounces off me. Did some damage to him. Didn't blow his tracks off, so probably killed a crewman, or maybe damaged an ammo rack or something like that. And I do take a couple of hits, but they all bounce. I'm not sure what the range is. There you go, there's bounce. Pull back and have a look and see where I'm being hit. There you go. But these guys only really need to get lucky once. You know, 840 health isn't a lot. And yeah, we're losing 2-0. We've lost 2 Tier 8, well, a Tier 8 and a Tier 7 already. Kobe's taking a beating in his Tiger P there, and those are flank shots. Every time he comes around the corner, they're putting shots into his side. And that's where I take my first bit of damage, and of course it kills my gunner. And sometimes they're going to penetrate. You see where it hit there, right next to the gun? Other shots hit there and they bounce. Sometimes shots hit there and they're just going to go through. Now that T-28 prototype's on 3 kills. I don't have a very good shot here. But this thing fires so fast. It's not actually a 6-second reload, it's a 6.9 second reload. So nearly 7 seconds, but that's still twice as fast as most other guns, or most other tanks, with this gun. Certainly twice as fast as the KD-1S, for example. And I have no idea how this one misses. Is this the shot I'm thinking of? Oh no, I did hit. I think all I did was blow his tracks off. I mean, then he moves again immediately, so he probably used a repair kit there. But I don't want to get shot at by that T-28 prototype, so again, using wrecked buildings as cover. I'm starting to pull the scores back a little, but we're still losing 4-6. Bounced. Probably hit his gun mantle. And I haven't. How does that miss? That was a perfect shot at the side of the turret of the T-28 prototype. Couldn't hit his hull, unfortunately. But then I screw this one up. This, I should have killed this guy. But took too long aiming at him. And then something hits the front of the building behind, so time to move. Unfortunately, we've lost Hawk. T-29's dead. But there's a big fat juicy Tiger 2 around that corner, and I have to get him. And there we go. Unfortunately, he shoots, hits, and kills my commander, and now artillery starts shooting at me. Where did that one go through? Yeah, same spot. Frontal armour of this thing is good, but it's not good enough. You can't rely on it to save you. And again, kill shot at the IS-3, and it just misses. And then Covey kills him. Unfortunately, that's Russian guns for you. Now, look at the map. Yeah, there it is. They're coming around the flank, and they're killing our artillery one by one. And this is where I come to a sticky end. But I'm showing you this one, not so much because of my amazing SU-122-44 skills, because there's nothing amazing about them. But it was an interesting game. And this is where I start biting off more than I can chew. The M7 Priest is running for it, and then he turns around to face the 3001-8 that's coming after him. Boom! And he kills the Priest, and I'm never going to reload in time to beat this guy. And that's where I come to a sticky end. From this point on, I switched to Covey, and we're all on Mumble, on voice comms. And we're talking to each other, and I'm basically shouting out advice to Covey, and you know, he doesn't really need it. There's the we've got a Tiger P, and an IS. 3 of us left versus 7 of them. And Covey's in the cap circle, but he knows he's never going to win by capping here. So he's using that dead IS-3 as cover. And he's angling. Most of the guys that are... Oh, there's artillery. Somebody can see him. And most of the guys in the enemy team that are attacking are all coming from the same direction. And we do have 3 very, very big guns pointing back down there. What the hell? Oh, artillery. M41's come up close for a bit of tank destroyer action. And he kills the Tiger. But now he's reloading. Go on, Covey. And of course, he fires and doesn't kill him. Typical. Can he beat his reload? He took a bit of time getting there. Yes, he can beat his reload. Cool. Okay. There's the 3001. And there's more artillery, of course. There's a Priest shooting at him now, but the Priest isn't that much of a problem. Not in a Tiger P. Killing the M41 was useful. Look at the rate of fire on that Priest. So Covey's moving up. He's going to use that wrecked Tiger as cover. And again, doesn't kill him. But the 3001 will change it anyway. There you go. And now suddenly things ain't looking quite as bad. And that's probably the worst thing that the M7 can actually do to Covey. Blow his tracks off. He might get lucky and damage his engine with a shot landing on his engine block. But that's about the worst that's going to happen. And this was a hell of a clutch defense. Oh, T-43, good shot. Enemy IS player ain't done. He knows he's only on 25 health. And he's waiting. He doesn't pop out until we've fired. So Covey closes in. Bounces a shot there. Great frontal armour on the Tiger P. I keep forgetting about this tank whenever I'm talking about Tier 7 heavies. It's one of the good ones. I definitely prefer it to the IS. Although it isn't as fast as the IS. But it's not that much slower. I mean, the IS, everybody says, oh, the IS is a very fast heavy tank. There we go, dead IS. It can only do 34 kilometers per hour. It's not that fast. And bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. I'll take your 85mm gun on any day of the week. And you see Cody's aiming for his command hatch and puts a shot right through it. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, the IS finishes him off. So not a bad game. Although from my perspective, it wasn't amazing. But it was the first game I'd ever played in the SU-122-44. And I can and did do better than that. I also done a lot worse than that. I mentioned that this thing seems to be just a great big fat T30 magnet when I'm driving it, and I keep getting into Tier 9 games. I'll show you what I mean. So here we go. It's a Tier 9 game, obviously, because I'm going to die to T30 very, very soon. Game's just started. It's Erlenberg, it's Assault. We're on the attacking team. And there's a spot. You can see we've got two ELC AMXs rushing forward. Okay, this is good. So we've got scouts running up, and they're going to get into a fight with a 250-2. Now there's a spot on the hill up here where there are some bushes and there's some cover, and you can basically provide covering fire to anybody going up to the top end of the road up there, because there will be defending tanks coming around onto that hill. So that's where I figure I'm going to go. I've got my camo net, I've got decent crew skills. Camos are roughly about 40% of all my crew at this stage. And I don't want to risk that shot. And to be honest, there they go. The ELCs don't need it. So now, here we go. Start looking at targets, and bang. I haven't even fired a shot. And there you go. T30 just annihilates me. And this happens... I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, it's just one of those rules. If there is a T30 on the enemy team, and we can't even see him, don't even know where he is. We hadn't detected anything other than the T50-2 at that point, but I just blast dead. Boom, gone. And it's one of the rules of the game. Jingles will always get killed by T30s if he's driving his SU-122-44. So well played, T30 driver. I hope you die of face cancer, you bastard. Now, this is probably more typical of the sort of games I've been having. And not just on the SU-122-44, but for the last 3 months. It's... well, it's another Tier 8 game. So. Yeah, I know I did say that I hardly ever seem to get Tier 8 games, but all the ones I've been showing you have been Tier 8 games. Yeah, typical. And here we are. So, yeah, Tier 8 game. It's a standard Battle of Muravanka. And you can do a lot of damage in this thing in a Tier 8 game, as you're going to see, because I do a lot of damage in this thing, in this Tier 8 game, but it doesn't matter. So, enemy light tanks are all over the place. You can see them on the map. There's just T21s and T50, look, just everywhere. We've killed a... No, they have killed our Leopard. We've nailed one of their T50s. That T21 isn't going to last much longer. It's just the light tanks getting stuck in so far. And nobody seems to be pushing that corner. Our team or their team. So, okay. We've got some heavies in front of me, let's move on. Oh, that A20's not looking very clever. He's on about 30 health. Poor guy. Tier 4 light tank like that in a game like this. And here's what you see this gun can do. Wait for it to aim, wait for it to take your time, never ever rush your shot. Unless you're at point blank range, you always, always, always want to be taking your time with your shots and making sure it's fully aimed. Otherwise you'll just miss, or you'll just bounce. Now I need to be careful here because I know it's a Russian gun, it's .41 accuracy, and that Tiger, I want to help him kill that lurver, but I don't want to accidentally hit the Tiger, and the Tiger's in front of the lurver. So, no, don't take the shot, don't take the shot, don't take the shot, don't take the shot, wait for it, now take the shot. There you go, 390 damage. The Tiger's dead, nailed by a Jagdpanther. And I'm not bounced. And now he knows where I am, and the lurver is very, very accurate, so let's not push our luck. And oh look, Tiger 2 and a KV-5 coming around the flank. Now, I know everybody always says aim for the weak spots. Great. The gun's .41 accuracy. At 500 metres, you can't hit weak spots. Not unless you might hit a weak spot, but it will be more luck than judgment. So at the moment, I'm just trying to slow this KV-5 down. I mean, if he turns around to put his front towards me, I might, by accident, hit his machine gun turret. But just hitting him... That one bounced. KV-5 has really strong armour. And I think he knows where I am. and bounced again. Here comes a Tiger 10. Look at the scores, 5-5, and just look at how quickly a game can completely fall apart. That one went wide, bounced off the Tiger 2. KV5's taking hits from somebody. It's one of the mediums. I think, no, screw that. Side shot on a Tiger 2, I'll take that. Here we go, penetrated, damaged. At that angle, might have damaged his ammo rack. And there we go. Somebody else hit him, tracked him. I'll put another shot into him. There you go. And look at how fast it's firing. This is getting a shot off every 6.9 seconds. And of course, Russian gun. That one just completely misses. But I take the chance that he's still there. Fire and kill the Tiger 2. Now we're losing 6-7. Now we're losing 6-8. IS-3, and there is cover between us. Good hit, 457 damage. That's probably right at the top of my damage roll on this thing. And now we're losing 6-9. And I hit the IS-3 again. And look at just the punishment that you can inflict with this gun. And then, of course, he gets into cover. Oh, there's a Tiger as well. Oh, he hasn't seen me. And I probably can't kill him. But I nearly can. Look at that, 408 damage. Now we're losing 6-10. That KV5's still out there. And the only thing in front of him are a pair of light tanks, Covenanter and an A20. And the A20 only has about 30 health. And here they come. Bounced. I need to move. And there goes the Covenanter. And now we're losing 6-12. And they're capping our base, and nothing that's left other than the Hummel can hurt the KV5. And now, and you know, what can you do? Losing 6-13. We eventually actually lose that one 6-15, and I was the only player on my team who got more than 300 experience. And that's the kind of game that I've just been having for 3 months. 60-70% of my games have been like that, which has made it a real hard work to get some decent replays put together to show you what this thing can do. But even though we lost this one horribly, you can see the damage output of this thing. The rate of fire of that gun, and the manoeuvrability of the tank, and the low profile and stealth of the tank is absolutely incredible. It's just a lot of fun. And, you know, you can't fight against a team as crap as that. All you can do is the best you can do. And it was at this kind of stage where, despite losing horribly game after game after game, and me being one of only 2 or 3 people on the entire team who could get more than 200 or 300 XP, you can still see the potential of the machine. So next, it's a Tier 7 game on Karelia. It's an assault map. We're on the attacking team. And we have a failed platoon, that is a Tier 2 T-26. Who's he platooned up with? Let's have a look. Yeah, Tier 2 light tank platooned up with a Tier 5 heavy. Oh well, what are you going to do? And look at how quick this thing is. You know, based on a T-44 chassis, and the T-44 is a fast medium tank. Oh, hello. And we do have the gun elevation to hit this guy. Oh yeah, that was a substantial amount of damage. And artillery finishes him off. And there's a T-50 up there, engaging our T-50. So let's see what we can do to even those odds up. Come on, come on. Here we go. And again, need to be careful, don't want to hit our T-50. But, you know, there we go, job done. 360 damage. Easy. But, you know, shooting at Tier 4 light tanks with this thing is like kicking puppies. Now, ELC. Fast little thing. Oh, and I missed. But the rate of fire on this thing is so amazingly good, it doesn't really matter. Oh, and he nails our T-50. And their artillery just killed one of our T-34s. Now, where's this ELC? He has to know I'm here. How dumb is he going to be? Hello. Big fat juicy KV-1S over there. Where'd he go? Take a shot. Don't think I hit him. And our KV-1S get... Oh, there's the ELC. Seriously. I don't know if you saw where our KV-1S is. What's he doing there? Seriously. You're one of our biggest heavies. Get off the bloody hill. Check out the map. That's him there. What the... Oh, man. What can you do? Random teams. This isn't certainly nowhere close to being one of the worst. This is actually one of the better teams I've had in the last 3 months. So I can't complain too much about one idiot on the team. But yeah, I'm pretty much all alone up here. There's one KV-1S struggling up the hill behind me. I don't even know what upgrades he has. Let's have a look. Can we tell from here? Can't really tell from here. Don't know what gun he's got. Judging by the speed he's coming up here, he probably doesn't have the top engine either. So likely to be a mostly stock KV-1S. It's the only support I have, and he's miles away. But we're doing alright. Winning 6-5. So let's see what we got down here. Can't see anything. KV-1S is going... He's not going as wide as I am. He's taking the more direct route. You can see him off there on my right flank. So, okay, let's put this speed to use and zoom forward to the next spot of cover. Look at how fast this thing moves. I seem to recall there was a bit of a... I'll show you what I mean. It happens in a moment. Here comes that KV-1S. Oh, he does have the big gun. It's a T-150. Okay, so now wait and aim and aim and aim and aim and aim and aim and aim. And there you go. And that's what you get if you wait and you aim. Although 1 shot in 3 is probably going to miss it anyway. Because Russian guns. Oh, there we go. Bounced. Come on, come on. Have him, have him, have him. Thank you. There we go. Now, where's that T-29? There he is. Not a great shot. No, and that one just completely missed. Now, I take the shot at the T-29? No, I don't. I aim at the Hummel. Now watch this. Now, basically my gun starts rocking. And I'm looking to see if there's anybody pushing me from behind. And what's actually happening? This is bizarre. Look at that. I just cannot bring the gun on the target. So I move forward and suddenly everything stabilises. It gives the Hummel time to fire back at me. And what I think was actually happening was there was a little bump in the ground there and the tank was just rocking backwards and forwards. And I fire and I kill the Hummel. Because he didn't move. So that's good. I'm up 4 kills. Woohoo! T-29. Now, obviously the Hummel knows I was there, which means the T-29 probably knows I'm here, and he's pointing his gun at me. And again, I don't have a very good shot at this guy, but I'll take the shot anyway. And of course it bounces, and I need to get out of here now. T-29 is entirely capable of penetrating my frontal armour, and ooh, more artillery fire. Luckily, that one didn't miss. Well, didn't hit. I think I might have taken a little bit of splash damage. You'll note that I'm not running with the Jingles damage panel anymore, not in patch 8.2. And that's purely because one of the things... Oh, T-29's on fire. That's nice. And that Griller is doomed. Yeah, one of the things that happened... there they go, they're all dead. One of the things that... And I'm trying to explain why I'm not running with Jingles damage panel. One of the things that was introduced in patch 8.2 was you get a progress bar now when a module is knocked out. So, for example, if your tracks are blown off, the track icon starts filling up again. And when it's fully full, your tracks are repaired. And the same with all of your other modules. Jingles damage panel doesn't support that. So I'm currently looking around for another simple little damage panel that just lets you know the size of the number of the hits that you've taken, but also doesn't mess around with the repair progress indicator that was introduced in patch 8.2. So, and that was one of my better games. And certainly one of the best teams I've had in months. In the SU-122-44, 4 kills, but you'd expect it to do this well with a halfway competent team in a tier 7 game, because it's a tier 7 premium tank destroyer, and the damage output of this gun is nothing short of phenomenal. The DPM is just ridiculous, with a 6.9 second reload and 390 average damage. It is absolutely... You can just wreak carnage on enemy teams with this machine and this gun. Well, we're back on Muravanka, and Tier 7 game. The scene of one of my average horrific defeats, which you saw earlier. You know, where I was the only player on the team that managed to get more than 300 XP. This time, slightly different. It's a Tier 7 game, although there are a lot of Tier 7s. What Tier 4s do we have? No Tier 4s. It's only Tier 6s and 7s. There's one rather unlucky T-25, premium Tier 5 German medium tank. Other than that, and the artillery, everybody else is at least Tier 6. So this should be quite good. And in fact, it was quite good. The team wasn't pants-on-head incompetent, for a pleasant change. Standard battle, none of that encounter rubbish. Although I don't mind encounter on Muravanka, it's not that bad. It gives you something to fight over. And it gives you a reason to not go anywhere near that bloody horrible forest. Although I suspect, from the hill to the south of the forest with all that wooded cover, this machine could probably do quite well over there. Because it is very, very stealthy, very low profile. It's a typical Russian tank destroyer. Okay, we've got plenty of guys moving up here. And they're all Tier 7, so let's go up and support. And I don't know what it is about standard battles on Muravanka. It's as if everybody's forgotten how to play them since the encounter battle was introduced. Because nobody from the northern team ever seems to go for this corner. And they always lose because of it. I mean, look at this. 4 of our Tier 7s have managed to get up here. Oh, there we go. There's a tiger. Now, I keep going on about the inaccuracy of this gun. Oh, it's not. There's a KV-1S up there. It's a Tier 6, not Tier 7. And a T-29. Tiger and a T-29. They're the only ones. Okay. Now, I need to be careful here. Gun depression on this thing isn't great. It's not bad. And all I can really hit... But if you wait and wait and wait, bang, there you go, Commander's Hatch. Now that's a stock Tiger, judging by the shape of his turret, but still. Oh, and I take it from the side. And there you go. Oh, I so nearly killed that Tiger. Oh, here comes artillery. Get out of here, get out of here. T-29. Commander's Hatch. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, is he going to show me? Oh, screw it. And unfortunately, bounced. Back up, angle, and he hits me and doesn't do any damage, just blows my tracks off. I don't want to be sitting here getting shot at by artillery. And unfortunately, I don't know where the shot went, but it should have penetrated the side of his turret, but it didn't. And then he turns, and I do manage to penetrate anyway, get him in the turret ring, and he fires, and I don't know if he missed or it bounced, but it didn't do any damage. And come on, bounced, but KV-1S kills him, so well done KV-1S. I haven't killed anything yet, but I've done a lot of damage to the enemy team. And scores a 3-3. It's fairly even, but, you know, look at the map. Just, the writing is on the wall for the enemy team here. KV-1S fired. Did I hit him? Don't know. Probably. Take another shot. Our artillery counter batteries, their artillery. Good work, Artie. And there's that KV-1S. No, I didn't hit him, but now I will. Probably the only drawback of this gun is that aiming time. But, well, the aiming time and the horrible accuracy. But you can't have it all. You know, things have to be slightly balanced. And again, I know I did kill something. Hooray! Right, I ain't going to hit that IS from that angle. Oh, and this is where I get greedy for the kill, so I fire before I'm fully aimed, because I don't want anybody else to ninja the kill, and it costs the Tiger P his life. Well, actually, it was nothing to do with the gorilla. It was that IS that killed the Tiger P. So, even if I had waited, the gorilla still wouldn't have killed him. Now, I know there's an IS over there, and I've been hit. Now, he can't one-shot kill me, but look at what else is there. We know there's an AMX M445, an IS and a Churchill Mark 7. Now, the Churchill Mark 7's down the other end of the map. So somewhere hiding in those woods is an AMX M445, and this 90mm gun is really good. Now at this point I'm thinking, let's go around. There we go. What I want to do is try and get a shot into the ass of this IS-7. But I still don't have the shot, so I'm not entirely sure just how destructible that building is he's hiding behind. And I've got plenty of ammo, and I reload quickly, so let's find some cover. Primarily from anybody else who's lurking in those woods, and also get a better angle on this IS. And try and blow his cover. Oh, and how lucky was that? The shot went wide and hit the IS. And he thinks he's in cover, but he isn't. Second shot does a load of damage, blows his tracks off. Unfortunately, Russian guns, Russian accuracy from this point on. Yeah, here we go. Same old story. Yay, got him. And set him on fire. And killed him. So there's my second kill. And now I'm feeling a lot more confident, since the AMX M4 is also dead, about going in and taking on that Panther. And I know he's camping in the woods there somewhere. He has to be. There he is. And no, all I can see is Commander's cupola. That's just... no chance. Forget it. Close in. And of course by the time I've closed in, this gun will have reloaded. And his gun's pointing the other way, and he's showing me his side, and this should be nice and easy. And there we go. Boom. And I'm probably not going to get the kill. No, T25AT finishes him off. So, not bad. Didn't get as many kills as in the previous game, where I got 4 kills, but did 3,000 damage to the enemy team in that game, and came out with 56,000 credits. So the earning potential is there because it's a premium. Even if that had been a Type 59 game or a Super Persian game, or at any Tier 8 premium doing that amount of damage to the enemy team, that would have earned 70,000 credits ish, possibly more. You don't earn as much as the Tier 8 premiums, but you still very, very, very rarely make a loss when you're driving this tank, especially with the premium account. So, summary time. The SU-122-44 is a good moneymaker, and it's a fantastically fun machine to drive. If you have the cash and you're looking for a fun, high-ish tier premium, this is definitely worth consideration. It doesn't earn quite as much money as the Tier 8 premiums, but it's a lot cheaper than the Tier 8 premiums, and it's a lot of fun to drive. It's very fast, it's very manoeuvrable, it's got your standard Tier 7 Russian heavy tank gun, but it's got half again as fast a rate of fire as anything else. In fact, it's got less than half, or more than twice, the fire rate of the KV-1S with the same, technically the same gun. So yeah, the SU-122-44. If you've got the money, you could do a lot worse than buying one of these things. I guarantee you will have fun with this thing. If you can get a competent team. Which is by no means guaranteed in this game. And that kind of brings me on to what I wanted to close off on the video. Well, first things first, my apologies to all of these guys down here. Yes, I am ignoring you because I'm recording a video. This guy in particular, as I even logged into the game, this window's already there waiting for me as I came in. The rest of you, yeah, you're being ignored on purpose, I'm afraid. It's not because I'm an arsehole. Or perhaps it is, but it's because I'm trying to record a video and I cannot keep stopping every 3 minutes to reply to every PM that pops up. And this is not unusual. This is a fairly average... Oh, look, there's a platoon invitation as well. Yeah. This is my World of Tanks experience. Basically ignoring PMs and rejecting platoon invitations because I'm trying to make videos here. So you can have your conversations with me in the game, or you can have your videos. You can't have them both because I don't have time. So my apologies to all these guys for ignoring your PMs, but I'm doing it for a good reason. Now, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, replay contest. That's right, yes. I'm going to start a new replay contest, but it's going to be different to the last one. I'll be giving away the usual 5,500 gold. On average, depends on which server you play on. There are different gift shop values for gold in each region server. But you're looking at about 5,500 gold. The next replay contest is going to be slightly different. There's no way I'm putting myself through looking at 2,500 replays again the next time around. But it's going to be more fun for me than it'll be for you guys. Let me just put it that way. It's a slightly evil replay contest, but that's going to have its own video coming soon when I announce the details of that contest. So you got that to look forward to. Speaking of the last replay contest, while I've gone through every single one of the emails that were submitted for the last replay contest, and there were hundreds of them, since the last replay contest, I now have over 1,000 emails still sitting in my inbox that I have to be honest with you, it's kind of like the PM situation. Every time I come out of a game, I'm looking at 7 different PMs waiting to be replied to that I just don't have time to look at. And I have over 1,000 emails, and I am never, ever going to be able to look at all of them. Victim of my own success there, I'm afraid. And so my apologies now in advance to everybody who sent me an email over the last 2 months. I just can't look at them. I mean, I'm going to have a look through, I'm going to try, but there is no way I'm ever going to be able to just have the time to go through that many different emails. And God alone knows how many different replays are contained in them. We're probably talking about 3,000 to 4,000 replays. Just forget it. It's never going to happen. So the vast majority are just not going to get looked at and are going to have to be deleted because I'm approaching the size limit of my Gmail inbox, and if I can't look at them all and I have to get rid of some, then that means I'm going to be getting rid of unlooked at emails. So bearing that in mind, please stop asking, did you receive my email? I don't know. And I'm never going to know because there are too many of them for me to check, and I probably did receive it, but I probably didn't look at it. And it sucks, but there is just no other way for me to manage it. And given that I'm going to be expecting a lot more emails as soon as I announce this new replay contest, I have no other option but to start clearing out my inbox, and that means an awful lot of your emails are just not going to get looked at, and I apologise for that, but there is nothing else I can do. A victim of my own success there, bit off more than I could chew. Thought I could handle the response, and then I was just no way. The response has been out of all proportion to what I was expecting to receive. So my apologies there. Finally, future of the channel. I've mentioned in the past that I've been suffering from the most appallingly bad losing streak lately, and it's still true. For 3 months now, I've been struggling to get a team that could find its own arse in the dark without the aid of a map and a flashlight. Just as an example, it's taken me a week and a half of playing the SU-122 to even come up with the average replays that I've shown you in this review, because the teams that I have had have, well, in most of the games, and most of them were losses, 2, maybe 3 players on my team, not including myself, managed to get more than 200 experience at the end of the game. That's how mind-bogglingly shit the players in my teams have been, and I'm consistently just keep getting lumbered with teams like this. I can't explain it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, even if I'd gone AFKers get a 35 to 40% win rate. You know, people who just press the battle button and then go away and watch television for half an hour and then come back and look at the battle results. 35 to 40% of the time, win. I'm playing games where I'm killing 3 or 4 tanks on the enemy team. I'm doing 2,000 to 3,000 damage to the enemy team, and I'm still losing. That's just all I can assume is that the matchmaker is specifically putting me on teams of fuckwits so that they don't get their arse kicked quite as embarrassingly as they otherwise would, and thereby, you know, encouraging them to perhaps play the game a bit more. I don't know. I can't explain it. All I know is it is no fun whatsoever, and it's killing my enjoyment of the game. So because I'm playing less, there are going to be less videos, because the amount of effort to result is just getting to be the stage with World of Tanks where it is just not worth the effort that I'm putting in. I have a couple of ideas on how to fix that. Company battles with subscribers, for example. Stuff like that might be fun. I'll have a think about how that's going to work, and we'll get back to you in future videos. But I'm also getting into other games, and I don't want to go on too much about these other games at the moment, but one in particular I think you guys might really like. But again, more on that in future videos. So basically what I'm saying is, can't possibly look at all the emails that I get sent. Please don't be disappointed. I am going to have to start deleting whole hundreds and hundreds of emails without looking at them, because I cannot look at them. There aren't going to be as many videos. You're not going to be getting a video every day. I just don't have the time or the competent teams in order to be able to do that. I'm going to be starting to look at other games, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them as much as I have. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I won't know until I try. So that's basically what's going to be happening with the channel. Just thought I should let you guys know and explain what I've been getting up to since the end of the replay contest. So that's what's been happening. That was the SU-122-44. As always, take care on the battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.